In today's video, I am going to be breaking down some after timeout basketball plays that you can run with your younger basketball team. These are not going to be consisting of very far shots. These are for very young players, very simple plays that you can essentially basically draw up and hopefully that they can run in game without any practice. These are super simple, so let's get down and let's check them out. Okay, so I would have my center in the low post here. I would have actually my best shooter or fastest player, or maybe my best player, whatever, over here. And then I would have two other players over here, this one being potentially a really good three-point shooter. Now, the idea here is simple spacing. You're probably already using an offense that's very similar to this anyways, like the 5-out. For example, you can get the complete guide to the 5-out offense that is down in the description below, but basically, with this offense, instead of there being a player out on this corner, he's going to be over in that low post. So, essentially, what we're going to be looking at trying to do is, of course, trying to get some open shots. Now, this is not going to be off of an inbounds play. This is going to be as if you just are dribbling the ball up the court and you need a basket. It's going to be very simple. You most likely, or at least a lot of teams, already run a pin down option in a 5-out offense. Most teams these days run 5-out. Player 3 is going to use that screen at the exact same time as this happening on that side. Player 5 is setting a back screen on player 2's defender. Player 2 is cutting to the rim. Player 2 cuts. Player 3 is lifting. Player 1 has two options. And that is it. If player 3 gets that ball, he can take that three-point shot, obviously if he can make it that far, and player 2 will be our number 1 option. That's why I said put your best player over here, so that you can get your best player, the player who you have the most confidence in getting a basket, the chance of getting a basket. Now, if you run a more advanced, older team, you could actually make a continuation of this exact play, and you can have player 1 set a pass to player 3. Player 4 can set the screen on player 2. Player 2 can then pop out to that corner. This could be a pass for a potential open three-point shot. Or we can now have another pin down for player 4. Player 4 pops up. And now this could open up opportunities on the slip or roll for player 3. Or a three-point shot for player 4. Now, this would be a more advanced continuation. I would not be running this with kids. This would be more for high school. But that first portion of the play could be used for very young teams because it's very simple to be able to run. Now, onto the sideline, we can actually run a very simple play that we've already ran before when it comes to being able to run a simple play that is on the team's playbook already. So basically, with this play, it's going to be a sideline inbounds. If we already run the 5-out offense, you probably run this play anyways. So you've got your inbounds player over here. You're going to have player 5 set the screen first. Both of these players are not going to be setting the screens at the exact same time. Player 5 sets the screen, player 3 pops up, that's the inbounds pass. As soon as that pass is set inbounds, we are going to have player 5 set the back screen for player 1. Player 1 is going to cut through. This could be a pass to player 1. At the exact same time as that happening, player 1 and 4 are going to be setting screens for player 2. Player 2 can cut this way or he can cut this way, depending on which way he wants to go. It doesn't necessarily matter. He's getting a double screen right here. So because of this double screen, player 2 can cut either way, and player 3 is going to be looking for player 2 with the pass and the easy layup. Hopefully this should be simple enough for you to be able to run. If not, and if this is maybe much too difficult for your team to run, you can run just the initial screen and pop. Player 1 passes to player 3. Obviously, he could attack the rim at the exact same time. But now you can just hit that first option and, of course, get yourself, hopefully, an open layup. Now, this next play I actually drew up randomly. I thought of it in a game, and I drew it up, and it worked. And since then, I've maybe made one video, maybe 2 or 3 years ago about this play. So I'm going to show it again. And with this play, the other team was setting up in a man-to-man, so they had their defenders right here. And I had a big man who was really, really, really good and really big. And what we did was he popped out, went straight back as if he was about to shoot. These two players, they closed on him. When these two players closed, his man was fighting around. And luckily enough, his man was fighting around on this side. Player 2 cut to the basket. He was kind of like our number 1 option, but I wasn't really worried about him, so cut out. He could be an option, but I just wanted to see where player 5's defender was going. If he was going around this way, player 5 would cut this way. But he went the way I hoped he would go, which was through the middle of the key. And I instructed him, wherever his defender goes, you cut the opposite way, as to still be using these guys as a massive wall. He cut back in, and this was an easy layup. This is probably one of the easiest plays that you can draw up, and it may and should work. However, if you want an even easier play that maybe is not in your playbook, but I think pretty much 90% of the teams run this play, is just simple back screens on the big guys. You've got little guys screening for big guys, so maybe there's a switch. If there is a switch, then there's a mismatch, but either way, one of these two guys may be open. These guys are going to split. Actually, I would rather have player 2 go up here. These guys are basically backup options, but what we are looking for is player 4 or 5 to be open in the post. Now, make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense. That is down in the description below. That is a very simple offense and can be built to be more advanced as well. They use it at the NBA level. They use it with elementary kids. I've used it with 10-year-olds. So make sure to go check out my complete guide to the 5-out offense that is down in the description below. And I'll see you guys again in my next video.